When Springfield Armory brought out the XDS, it was the smallest carry gun that you guys had ever made, Rob. And a lot of shooters still love this, but now there's something new.
So we've added our HEX line of optics. That's a WASP mounted on what we call the XDS Mod.2 OSP. It's a mouthful, but it's...
Yes, it is. So the XDS, I like it. It's a single stack gun. I actually kind of like that it has a grip safety. It's just some people prefer that. It's a preference thing. But you've never had the XDS optics ready.
So this is a brand new model. This is just introduced, even though the gun has been out for some time. The real improvement here is as optics are getting better and better, and we now produce our own, we're able to make everything match up perfectly. So instead of adapting a gun to it, the XDS took it pretty easily because it was, when that sight was designed specifically for the Hellcat, but the top of the slide on an XDS and Hellcat are almost the same.
How can a little optic like this help on shooting small concealed carry guns?
Well, it completely takes away the whole need for sight radius. We all talk about sight radius, how long sight radius is easier to shoot. As soon as you put an optical sight in there, you can get rid of the sights altogether.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, there'll be a day that we won't care that there'll be iron sights on those pistols because we'll commit to the optical sights. And when that happens, you don't care what the barrel length is. The barrel length establishes velocity and stability for the bullet. So if the barrel's long enough to do that, you're good to go.
Now, I know that they can get it with the HEX optic on here, but how easy or difficult is it to mount? Do you need plates?
2 screws. Nope. On this version, it's a direct mount, so that means there's 2 screws that go in. It comes, if you buy the version without the optical sight on it, there's a plate on it that's a cover plate. It doesn't have to be there, but it's a cover plate. So you pull the 2 screws out, mount the sight, sight it in, you're ready to go.
All right. The XDS from Springfield Armory now available with optics, the HEX WASP.
Let me show you a trick on how to pick up the dot on your optical sighted pistol. All right, so we're all going into optical sighted pistols, and there's an advantage for it. Traditional way was to teach you to do this, look for the front sight and extend it. Problem is you can't find the dot till you're at the very end. Here's what I suggest you do. Start, take your time, create alignment. What you're doing is memorizing the position when you can see the dot that your wrist has to be, your elbows have to be, and your shoulders have to be. So you memorize that position to create alignment, then break that position. Now don't rush into it again, put it back up, go for the memory point. Your brain will remember what the wrist position is, because that's where most people's problem is. Create alignment, break it. Come back up, create alignment, break it. Because what you're trying to memorize is what it feels like. Not what it looks like, but what it feels like to actually create alignment. So instead of doing it fast up, start with locked in, then break the position.
Finding the dot. That's what Rob's talking about, and getting that muscle memory committed in your brain. When you convert to putting an optic on the gun, you're used to shooting iron sights, that's the big battle, is finding the dot. Now, there is the technique, and this is sort of the training wheels part, is look for that front sight, roll it forward, and then see the dot. And that's a way to get started. But once you start getting used to it, you want to drop that because really it's slower. So what Rob's talking about is out here, this is what it should feel like, and then compress it. It's out here, this is what it feels like, and you compress it. Let's take a couple shots. So compressed, ready, punch out. You see the dot, you can press the trigger. And it's that fast. Once you get used to finding the dot quickly, it just appears in your vision, that muscle memory takes over, and it really works.